Delay your celebrations except to congratulate your captain Claire Murphy and present you with this trophy.
chairman of Courceys Rovers. I suppose when we look back on 1997, we must, you know, it being our 50th year, I suppose there was no fitting or no better way to celebrate it than by our achievements of 97. I go back to January of 97 at our AGM. You know, we were fairly hopeful of success. You know, I suppose really we approached the year more in hope than in confidence, as they say. But I suppose we got off to a good start in the month of February when we had a team in the county final of Score. Couldn't think of that a second. County final of Score. They were unlucky; they didn't win the final, and I suppose that set the trend for the year. Our underage had a fantastic year. They won the under-16 county for the first time, for the first county championship of the club. This was a great achievement when you consider that you know, this team wasn't very highly rated at the start of the year. But you know, with the work and dedication that was put in by the trainer Brendan Murphy and the rest of the lads, you know, they really came out on top in the end after replay against Nima Rangers. On the minor section, again they won a great Southeast Championship, but you know, they were disappointing in the first round against Larney, who went on to win the county. I suppose it was the only disappointing game we had for the year. We move on then to junior end of it, and I suppose the highlight from the junior point of view, I suppose it's a bit odd really after winning a junior hurling Southeast, that when I say that the highlight, I suppose really was the winning of the football. Totally unexpected at the start of the year, but you know, they played some great stuff, and after replay against Kinsale, I think myself that the hype and the excitement that evening over, I think you know, it was very hard to pass it. Going on to, I suppose, just to finish with the football, you know, I suppose we played Belnora then the following week, and you know, they were that bit too good for us on the day, but I think myself, but for the fact that we were involved in hurling, you know, we would possibly have maybe put a bit more effort into the football, but you know, hopefully this coming year we will do a bit more in the football. In the junior hurling, as you all know, winning the Southeast was a great achievement again, but to go on then and to lose narrowly in the final to Castlelyons by 1 point was disappointing, to put it mildly. And well, hopefully this year we'll go one more. I suppose going back to that county final, we really deserved another bite at the cherry. Like a draw would have been a very fair result, and I'm sure that Castlelyons would have settled for a draw to win on the day. But anyway, as it turned out, they just got the vital score at the end. I suppose pride of place at the end of the day that must go to our under-21 hurlers. Having, you know, won the Southeast again for the 3rd year in a row, they went on and they played some great stuff, particularly in the county semi-final. I suppose really we were lucky to win that county semi-final against Charleville. It was a goal by David Hayes in the last minute of the game that won that for us. But you know, we were lucky all this year, I suppose, really, but that day our luck was really in. But having said that, we played very well in the final against the Bears and fully deserved our victory on that day. Just to look back on the year as a whole, I must pay tribute to the workers within the club. But you know, it is very easy to be chairman of a club if you have good people around you. It is they do the work. But the officers, the trainers and the selectors of the different teams. It was a year there was great harmony within the club. There was no row between selectors, as often is the case when we were involved in so many games. But like, it was a year that ran very smooth. It was a year that everybody pulled at each other. There was no major flare-up. And I think the players must also be complimented on the way they approached every game, the dedication to training, and you know, the way they put everything together. And when I speak of selectors and everybody, I also include trainers, both Sean Reardon in the underage and Kevin Kiley in particular with the junior hurlers. You know, he brought a new urgency to that play, and you know, they responded very well to him. So, you know, we're looking forward to 98, and hopefully in the junior hurling we'll go one step further. So.
We're here in Chris Cochran's this evening with Paddy O'Donoghue, Chris Cochran and Connie O'Regan, and we are talking about times past, as 97 was our 50th anniversary and we're having a brief discussion on the history of the club, which will lead up right to 1997, and we'll just throw it open down over to the lads, and I see that when Courcey Rovers, or when Ballydy and Ballinspittle joined up, they won the Southwest final in 1947. And what would your earliest recollections of Courcey's playing in a Southwest final? So anyone of you can take that one up there. So leave it over there to you, Paddy.
Well, as we were saying there before we went on film, like that, my recollection would be of Courcey's playing Bandon in the Westcock final in 1949, and Bandon went on. It was a great game, but Courcey's were short a couple of players, alright, and Bandon went on to win the county that year, and they went up intermediate, and I suppose after that, I think that the club was functioning again for that was their third year. And I don't think I remember, wasn't at the matches when they played Clonakilty in the 2 previous years. But then after that, I suppose when the clubs joined up, Ballinspittle were blue and white, isn't that right, Connie?
That's right.
And Ballinspittle were red and white. They are the present colours of we have at the moment. And there was a toss-up of which jersey we wear, and it was Mick Nolan tossed. I don't know who he was actually from playing for Ballinaswittle at the time, even though he was from Knocknacorra, and he tossed with some Ballinademon, and Mick won the toss, and Mick decided that he'd go for the red and white. So they tossed again. They thought there was some confusion, and Mick said that he wanted to bend the red and white colours. So that's where the colours of the present day for the club came from. Was I think it was Mick Nolan decided on that.
Yeah.
So we leave it over now to the says Connie and Chris are here that played for years, very good players. I didn't hardly play at all, worth talking about much. I never played junior championship match in my life because I wasn't any good. But we love it over to the men that they were there, as well as this one in matter like. So let's someone of the two we know the games he played, lads.
Yeah, sure. I can't remember back as far as you were talking on 47 at all. Like, I mean, I couldn't.
Well, I wasn't there. I don't remember 47 either. I can't remember, but I wasn't at the match.
You see, I was a stranger, if you like, because I was 5 miles out of the village.
Right.
You know?
I know.
So by the time I got to the village, every fellow was strange to me early on in the time. Like, but I remember coming along, and the first taste of championship was a match against Bandon up in Kilbritton, and didn't make the next round of it. Then I didn't turn up for the next round, and I didn't know whether I was good enough to play in the next round or not until someone started cribbing to me afterwards why I wasn't there. But that's my first recollection of it. Like, and I was the oldest players I can remember when I started off first. It was actually a football match that I played at Stephen Nolan. I replaced Stephen Nolan, and I could safely say I never played with Stephen because he came off and I went on, and Stephen never again went on, you know. And
so that was Stephen's last game.
that was Stephen's last game.
And was that football, can I?
That was football.
But Stephen
against Barry Rowe, I remember now, yeah.
No, he played after that.
Did he?
Stephen played corner forward against Ross Carberry in Clonakilty when he won the West Cork Junior 2 football.
Did he? Yes.
He did.
I couldn't remember.
And
I
you
was
were
playing
playing.
all right, yeah, but I couldn't remember that now.
Yeah. He won the game the same day. That was the day now of the big the night of the big fight in Clan.
Yeah. But I can remember, Jeremiah, of course, then was one of the oldest. Scotty, I had a few matches with Scotty, of course, and Christine Owen, and yeah, and Paddy Connell, and Mika, and of course Mick Nolan, the staunch man, then going out to 57 then, and if I could, you could be naming good players that Courceys had down over the years there. Starting off in 57, like they'd been my best memory, I suppose, of good hurlers. Like, I mean, Dennis Paul and Davy and Jeremiah full back, of course. Chris, yourself, you went that match, very sick man that morning playing, but you battled it out. You ran all the match, were you? Yeah.
Of course, what you're talking about there is the 1957 county final.
1957 county final.
Junior county final against Tracton.
Against Tracton.
John Nine, isn't it?
John Nine, yeah.
And that was played in Kinsale.
Farmley
in Kinsale, yeah. No,
you better come in that place.
Out of the way. Yeah.
Just the reason that you said, sorry, before Chris came in, the reason that you didn't know the people and you didn't know the people is because you were living in the far eastern side of the parish in Castlebar.
I was nearly a Kinsale man more than a Ballinaswittle man, like, I mean, you know.
And there was no forms of transport
back in the 40s, late 40s. You had to cycle up to the matches, like, that was the...
So you wouldn't know Chris Cochran up here in Benley, no, you are all totally like fellas living over in...
I didn't know Chris at all up to then, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
You could say there was no telephones hardly at the time that...
No.
Tell us about the match. Trust Stephen and Davy Sullivan.
Yeah,
the Monbikes would come there. They were the local men for giving us the information when the match would be on.
Passed on from one to the other.
Connie was saying about going to his first match, my first championship match was against Bandon outside in Kilburton, and like that, I took the stockings with me in my pocket, because if I took the gear with me, let's say I was expecting to be playing.
And what age would you be at him, Chris?
I was a young one,
Yeah.
But
They don't know, I hit 15.
and I can remember anyway, I went out, I was on anyway, and I had no boots, so I went out to change the trumpet. You know, the trumpets up there, they were a little bit up by Fancy Brown's up.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I got his pair of sandals, to play. They were my first game. But I must be played with great men as Connie, Ali Machine, John Sweeney and Jeremiah and Mickey Murphy, which I was one of the greatest forwards.
Yeah.
You know, if he that if he had things with the senior club, and he'd be on the car team. But,
just going back there to the farming of the club again. So Jim O'Regan was training here at him. That was Connie's uncle.
Yes.
And
That's right, yeah.
Jim organised the coming together of Ballinspittle and Belvedere.
He did.
And he was your trainer then for
He was for a few years.
the next few years.
And St Vincent's coaxed him up to Cork.
Yeah.
And before that, St Vincent's came down to Ballinspittle to play a match against Courceys, and there was Sloan coming down first because they thought Courceys would be no good. It was Jonah, that was in Jonah to me, Jonah the well.
Probably Jonah, right.
And so Courceys beat him well below, you know, that Courceys were fierce good at the run back in Ballinspittle line.
So that was leading up to 57 county final. So.
Yeah.
And Jimrick had just gone there before the county final.
Yeah.
But I'd safely say that if Jimrick was around, like if he was teaching or if he continued teaching in Ballinspittle, that Courceys definitely would be, you know, we'd be gone further, like.
Yeah, but you must remember that Stephen Orne was a great trainer too, though. He was a great trainer. He had an innocence that suited every fella, you know.
Yeah.
Every fella was the same to Stephen, like he didn't.
But what I was in Jim Regan's,
Yeah.
like
He was a driver.
they'd be all the spectators being listening to what would he be saying.
Yes.
You know,
Well, you'll go in at half time. That's the one thing you'll go in. There was no problem about going because there was no wire around the fields.
Yeah.
There was no rope or something. They'd be trying to keep it back. They'd fill it up and down the line, trying to keep the crowd back. And you'll go in at half time for to hear the speech from Jim Regan.
Yeah.
I remember as I'd say might be maybe now this was at the Bouts and Benton, and he had his team around him there. And he said I want no dirt. But he said every man he says take a man, he says, and drive him down through the ground if he can. That still stands up. I think it's important to say that, like, not here now from not being a player, like looking at teams over the years, that Courceys had very, very good hurlers.
Great hurlers.
Like, I mean, there is a myth going around, like, that hurling didn't start in Courceys until about 3 or 4 years ago. Like, that's a myth. Like, they weren't as successful because they didn't win a county. They probably unlucky, or but the present day team, the difference is that they have more success underage, and they're, as a team, they're playing better.
Right.
You know.
But were they expected to win the 1957 county?
They weren't. No.
They weren't expected to win.
They were underdogs.
They were underdogs.
But the one team, the one county that she could have won, Connie, would be in '54. I've been at the match now. Castle Magner.
Yeah.
That game was thrown away, I suppose.
Was that the semi-final stage, or? Semi-final county,
and they won the county without a full team.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
They hadn't a full team. Matty McAuliffe, who was playing for Cork at the time, he went off to, there was a trip they had from the Cork team to America. They got to New York and they played the league final prop or something in New York. And he went with the team rather than stay with his own club, like, you know.
Yeah.
But they still won the county without him, like.
Yeah, but if you were to come from that team.
That Courceys ever had hitting bars, striking bars over here.
Yeah, so I was talking to Newsdown man not so long ago that I didn't know now. I didn't know the man, but he talked about Andrew Henn so much. We played Newsdown, and he took note of. I was a fellow like Hurling, and he took note of how Andrew played. He said he pulled an 8 ball, he said overhead and connected with 7. So he
only missed one.
He only missed one.
It was against Carrytown. We played Carrytown in the semi-final of the county, and they had a brown there that cut.
Johnny Brown. I know Brown. He was brown. Yeah. But he got a little something.
And they put a couple of bars overhead at the other. That went into the field.
That was a great game.
And
that Carrytown team then came along and they played Valleys in the county final and they hammered.
It had to be Courceys Valley county final, like.
Yeah, but Courceys would have hammered Valleys, like.
Just to move on there, so another bit, lads, just in '57, okay, he got to the county final, and unfortunately lasted. But then he didn't win the Southwest again until 1964, so there was a bit of a lull there. There was 7 years there. There was a bit of a lull came in there for them.
That's another story.
But I suppose, in fairness, I suppose I suppose it's nearly fair to say that the reason for going southeast at him was that the competitions in the southwest we thought they were gone so low, and that the hurling was very good in the southeast, but the reverse happened, like. The reverse happened. I mean, Carrydown isn't the best division in the county now, anyway, I suppose.
Well, the number of teams playing hurling there is a smaller division, I must say.
Smaller division,
Of course, you would have to win. He won the southwest.
But anyway, it turned as it is, like, I mean, we're as well off in Carrydown as we are anywhere else, like, you know. That's there we are, and there we'll stay.
Yeah.
He won the Southwest 15 times, which was a fair achievement in itself, wasn't it?
It was, like, and there wasn't a lot of competitions in them days, like, you know, there's
more
loads of competitions now to be in, like, you know, but there wasn't as many in them days, about half, I suppose, you know. Yeah.
Well, we weren't organised underage.
Yeah.
to the extent that they were today.
But I don't think there was even.
But any club
We,
organised that for us,
Well,
Chris and myself played juvenile for Kilbritton
I know.
in '52.
That was our first cup medal.
No, first
Not
was
at all.
Scott medal, and we had no juvenile team in '52. Remember,
No.
like you know. So
Yeah.
Chris and myself played for Kilbritton. But for to get a match, you go.
About it is that we're talking about lamenting about all the junior finals. I think that maybe we should at least have won one or two,
Yeah,
but we still haven't won a junior, like
we haven't. No.
that's still to be done, like
Oh, still yet to be on the junior county.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
And just maybe just your reflections back in '97 now after 50 years, and you can remember most of the years. Could you give me your
Well,
reflection of '97, Paddy?
Well, '97 was the best year we ever had.
Yeah.
I
Any
mean,
club then, if they have another club, it would have that can be.
and the fact that it happened was with the 50th anniversary, like it's you know, it's a kind of a strange coincidence, like.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Yes,
around.
lads, you
We
couldn't
like- we
look
like
at-
not here,
you could hardly look. I mean, if we won the county final, the junior final, like you'd say that it all happened from above or something. Like I
That's
don't know,
right.
you
Yes.
could be harder to
It
explain
would be
it.
hard to explain, yeah.
But the fact that we lost it, like it's easier now to explain it, like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of course, winning the football in '97, I suppose, was probably one of the most outstanding things that happened. Like.
Yeah,
I think that was a great year
Yes.
in Ballinhasig when we beat
Yeah.
Kinsale. Like.
yeah.
I think there was more excitement after that match. Like.
And if you remember the drawing match in that was only it was the referee's decision
Oh,
in the
yeah.
end of the thing that it went the wrong way. We were out of it. Like.
That's quite correct, yeah. We got a free about
Free.
35 yards out, and
Yeah.
Declan Murray kicked it over the bar.
But
Like.
it's actually Cornelius now, and he might never break it because he won that free.
We was after winning the free, was he? Yeah.
That's right, yeah, that day.
But if
And
he-
in fairness, Declan scored. That was a great free to score.
That was great for free to score. But
Yeah.
if the ref gave the free the other way, you know, the way
Yeah, we like that.
and you'd have no argument. Like I mean, he could, you know, which is like the same thing happened with the junior final. Your man was busting through. I couldn't see it as being a foul, like, but you know, the
Well,
referee decided it was a foul.
Yeah. It was the junior final, of course, was a 50-50 game.
Yeah, it was a 50-50
And
game,
it
but
was whoever was going to put the
it was
hurling in
that
the
last ball again, like.
whoever was going to put the hurling in the wrong place.
Yeah,
We could have got a free in just as well,
yeah,
and the game was all over. We should probably have won it the way
Yeah.
they played the last 10 minutes. Like.
yeah.
Do you think that looking back at the county final, do you think that we're good enough now for the coming year to maybe to try and get out to the southeast and win a county?
Well, if we get our Southeast, we'll be dangerous enough.
Well,
to-
we'd always be hoping anyway. I hope we'll be
Yeah,
we'll be able to see a county out of it anyway.
I suppose it was a big disappointment to lose by a point against Castle Lyons in the
It
county
was a
junior
big
final.
point,
Oh, yeah.
After such a good match, like, and
Yeah, because it is the one thing the courses want to do is to get out. As the fellas says, if you want to get out of the valley, like you have to get out and playing junior, like. And
Yeah.
if you won a junior county, you're playing into major.
Mm.
You know, we have stuck there for 50 years,
Yeah,
but we're still there, like.
yeah.
And
Hard to tell or recognize a sign I'm Michal Hayes. I'm chairman of the Courceys Rovers Underage Club. 1997 was a good year for our club, but before I come on to it, I would just like to go back and talk about the lead up to 1997. A lot of people had put a good bit of work into the underage club down through the years, but we weren't able to compete in the top grades in the southeast. So at the end of 1989, a decision was made to employ an outside coach, and for the first time in 1990, Sean Redden arrived at the club with regular Saturday training sessions from under 12s up to minors. After about 12 months, he began to show the fruits of what he was doing, and we began to make an impact in the southeast championships. We won in the following years, we won every grade of hurling championship there was to be won in the southeast, from under 12 up to minor. In 1993, we had one of the highlights when our under 14 team won the county Féile and represented the county in the All-Ireland Féile in Galway. Looking at 1997, I suppose our aim always was to win a county, and even though we produced some good teams down through the years, they never failed, they never achieved the breakthrough. In 1997, just looking at our under 12s and under 14s, first of all, they did not achieve success in 1997, but I have no doubt that in 1998, and certainly hopefully 1998, they will be back to do the business again. In minors, the minors won the Southeast Championship for the third year running, and they were very unfortunate after some very good games, hard games in the Southeast, especially against Valley Rovers. We played Belhassick in the final and went on to play Blarney in the first round of the county. We lost the match by 3 points, and Blarney subsequently went on to win the county. So we weren't far away from it at all in the minor hurling championship. I suppose our big thing this year was that at long last we made the breakthrough in the county when our under 16s won the county B hurling championship. So I want to congratulate Brendan Murphy, the trainer, and the selectors for the effort they put into that team in making the breakthrough, and hopefully now we can go on from here to win further success at not only at Southeast level but also at the county level.
Being driven out there with,
a number of our players have also been recognised by the county, not only this year but down through the years. But just looking at 1997, the two Murphys, David and Niall. David played for the Cork Primary Schools, Niall played for the under 16s, and I suppose Seamus Hayes was probably our top performer this year when he played cornerback on the Cork Vocational Schools team that won the All-Ireland Championship. So well done to the three of them. This trophy I'm holding here is the Christy Ring Trophy, and it's awarded to the outstanding under 16 player in the county on an annual basis. And this year this trophy was awarded to Niall Murphy for his performances for the under 16s in the county championships. So well done to Niall. So hopefully we can, a sign of the progress we've made is that our minor team for the coming year in 1998 will be playing in the Premier Championship in the minor hurling. So I am fairly confident that with the talent that we have built up through the years, that we can go on to further success in the future.
Breen, is that Breen? Breen Desmond, yes. Breen Desmond about to take this line ball again. Breen, fine cut of a young fella, 6 feet tall, cuts a great ball across. There's a good ball pulling across there was Billy Lornan. Out comes Billy again, Billy being well policed there by his marker. But Billy's working his way there, gets the ball. Oh, being tripped there, I think, but unfortunately the referee didn't see that. Lifted and strike there, well played out there with the Nemo lad. Out Kieran Brendan cuts a good ball back up again. Garrod Callan is there. Garrod Callan, Nemo pulls. Ball is there to be won. Being picked up now. Well done there, but Nemo lad being working it out. Shane Lorden there is challenging in there, but good work there by the Courcey lads. Being picked up there by that Billy Kiley. No, Billy Kiley there on the ball.
The under-16s had a good year. We played in the Interdivisional League and we qualified for the final of that against Inniscarra. Unfortunately, we were a bit short that day in terms of we didn't measure up to the other performances, but nevertheless, we were only beaten by 3 or 4 points. When it came to the championship, we played Slieve Rua and tracked him in the early rounds and beat him quite easily. So then our final was against Ballygarvan, and that was played in Riverstick. And many of the parishioners would reckon that was one of the final games of the year. We won it by 111 to 1-5, and I suppose it came 2 days after the Southeast Junior final, and it put together a very nice weekend for Courceys. We were then on to the first round of the county, and we played Cloudove in Bandon on a Saturday afternoon, and that was a tremendous game. Cloudove put in everything into it and made us work very hard for it, and we succeeded eventually. We had a junior county semi-final against Dungourney, played in Ballygarvan, and we won that handy enough. So we were into our first county final versus Mill Street in Cloudove. Here again, we were probably too good for Mill Street. We had expected them to be a better force, but we were too good on the day and collected our first county under-16 title at country level. So then we had to face Nemo in Ballygarvan, and many predicted that maybe that we'd be over Nemo, but that wasn't the case. We had to fight very hard to make a draw of it the first day, and it took some very good scores and some very good play by a lot of people to do the business. We didn't of course face up to a replay.
Garrod comes along. No, I must say that
we were a bit doubtful coming into that. But
Nemo's backs are playing very well.
And they
kind of forward there, flips it away there. Out comes Michael O'Donovan. In again. Well, walked there by Dan fails to get it again. Kieran Brennan is moving the ball out. Waiting outside is the Nemo lads, number 13. I see a chance to score here. At the ball, puts the ball up.
To go out to Park Ring, and the 21s had a good win. The 16s worked hard. The other teams that went before them many years were maybe a slight bit more talented, but this crowd had it in guts, commitment, and they had the will to win. They were championship men, and that we were very glad of.
Brendan, trainer of this team, Shani Ryan, coach. We have Pat Callan. Being cut there by, that's Johnny Murphy. Johnny Murphy turning around, tries to get the ball up. Good work by Johnny. Johnny whips the ball down into the forward line. Being policed inside there. Niall is on the ball. Niall is trying to get it up. Fails to get it up. Bit of work there outside number 10 now. Number 10, the Nemo lad who got the point there earlier. That's good work there by, like, Cullum. Is that Cullum Lawton? Cullum working well there outside. Being walked outside there again by number 14, which will be Donald Toomey. Is that Niall? No, being chopped inside there, and a good free there for Niall. It looks like Niall. Yes, Niall Murphy gets that free. Well worked there. So Courceys going well here now at the moment. 3 points to 1. But nothing much in it. Courceys getting another ball up into the forward line, but not. Nemo Rangers backs are playing very well here at the moment. Playing very well. Courceys are playing with a nice handy-sized breeze. But difficult puck here now for difficult strike here now. Difficult strike for Niall. Niall as he bends, lifts. Only puts it floating across. Goes right. Bell batted in and pulling there again, but unfortunately not. Great chance here now. Niall is in it again. Niall whips and turns and puts it over the bar from the free out. Great chance aside for the goal there, but a good point there, struck, going back out again to Niall, and Niall puts it over. Niall
hung together for 4 or 5 years. You know, as already said, like, they weren't the most talented, but the most committed. Many people have laboured with the teams, likes of Martin Nolan, Pat Cullen, Margaret Loden, Pat Lawton, Chris Cochran, and of course all this only came about by the presence of Sean Reardon and instilling the confidence, the know-how, the hurling into those lads. It was absolutely terrific to be involved with a 16 team that won a county, indeed won the first county for the club, and in a year that was so good for the club. There were some outstanding performances, but if I had to attribute anything, I would say it was guts, determination, will to win was the hallmark of this team. They must now parade their talents at a higher level, at premier level, but no doubt, you know, that they'll measure up to that as well. Definitely they're a fine bunch of fellas, and one would be proud to be associated with them.
Courceys already have beaten Mill Street in the county and the country section of this now. We're under the county proper here now this morning in Ballygavin, and Courceys are looking good. 1-4 to 1 point, and let me see, 10 and 20 minutes gone in this first half. So it's a line ball now for Nemo. What did I say? Pat Lawton, Richard Dealey, I think. Pat Cullen. On the run here now again, Nemo. Well, work there by... That's great work there by Kieran Brennan. Kieran Brennan, great work. Ball breaks out. It comes to Donald. Donald is on the run to goal. Donald is running. There he goes. He puts it across. Oh, unlucky there by Billy. Flicks it across there to the top.
Referee AJ Cronin from Mayfield and his officials for their competent and lively game. And of course to our sponsors, Trustee Savings Bank. Normally we have somebody from the bank, but we don't have anybody today. But without their help we wouldn't be able to continue. So now again, as I said, I'm sure you want to head for Ballinhassig. Heartfelt congratulations and the best of luck to Courceys Rovers. Oh,
I suppose I'd like to start off by thanking the referee. I thought he'd done a good job. I thank our selectors because they put a lot of effort in it. I'd like to thank Mags Lorden, Pat Lawton, Christy Corcoran, Pat Cullen, anyone else. I'd like to thank Brendan because I think he put in an awful lot of effort during the year and paid off at last. Changed the club around the last couple of years. He brought us from nothing up to one of these. I'd like to thank Mill Street because they put up a fine performance. They kept their heads up right throughout the game. I think they deserve 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Back court, back! Sorry, John. I go back down to 2 minutes. Oh, Courceys! By thanking the ref, he done a good job. He had to come down early this morning, and we won anyway. I suppose that's what counts. There's 5ers in the post. Thank Ballygarden for the pitch because considering the weather it's in good condition. I suppose we'd have to thank our selectors because they done a great job during the year, and Mags Lorden, Christy Corcoran, Pat Lawton, Pat Cullen, and a special thanks to Brendan Murphy. He's put in an awful lot of effort down through the years. I suppose the thanks is to be given to Sean Reardon too because before he came back we weren't doing a whole pile. Now we've a couple of trophies more. I'd like to thank the rest of the lads as well because they done an awful lot of work during the year. Even down towards the last couple of weeks there was still 20-25 fellas turning up for training. I'd like to thank Nemo Rangers because they put up a spirited display right to the end. They were unlucky the first day, and I suppose overall they might have deserved to win the first day, but we fought at it and we got our reward today. Yeah, well done.
title ever. Now, hopefully, we go on with the first this year, we'll hopefully go on maybe to win another one later on. But this is the first county final that we've won ever, even though we've contested a number of, well, 2 junior finals in the past. And I was a great honour for to be on the first team that has won a county title. So I just want to say that county titles don't come just, they don't drop down out of the sky. A lot of effort is put in, not only this year but down through the years to produce a team who are capable of being the best team in the county at almost 16. So in that regard, I suppose I want to say that I suppose the Junior Hurling, his coming down here to Courceys certainly has helped in a big way, not only in this but in the teams that are also contested the Junior U21 county finals, because all of them, most of them players would have been come up from playing Shannon here 7 or 8 years ago. So I suppose Hilton Mendel is probably sowing the seeds of this success here today.
There you go.
Our first county title, so I think the effort that Brendan put in is something really valuable, and I want to thank for that. Also the other selectors, I won't step in because I might miss someone, but the other selectors involved in the team, they have played a part as well. And of course, it all comes down to the players. Junior Hurling now, when they're up there, any selectors, unless the team perform on the day, you can't win a match. And I think today this team certainly improved their performance from the drawing match, and they were never in serious difficulties, or there was never any danger, I'd say, that they'd lose it. So, you know, it was a great team effort from them, and it's something that will always stand to them down through the years, that they were on the first county team, or Courcey team to win a county, and it's something that they can always be proud of.
So if you're not jumping on here, lads, we'll be on our way. In goal, Elomani. Our full back line, Vincent Hurley. Jan Hunt is at the county final, so and let me say what a fine game he had today. Our next campaigner is Michael Welch, and you two had a fine game. Our half-back line, Colin Lawton. Vincent O'Donovan. Where's this Kieran Brennan fella? The famous name, Kieran Brennan. Billy Kiley. John Murphy. Green Deathman. Shane Logan. Right, lads. Garrod Callan. Billy Lorden. On, Billy. On out, Billy. Come out here, my wee. Jordan Toomey. One out, come out. Now, our subs of today, another day, Stephen Nolan. Out here, Stephen. Kevin Murphy. Out here. A young man that's a full 16 as well, always with us. Maybe they didn't get too many minutes, but well done there, Mark Hurley. Out here, Mark. Mark Toomey. Brian Minahan.
Brian Lorden, where are you? Kenny Maloney, where are you? Wait a while. Bring him out. Is Marshall Donovan here? I'll hold it for Michael. Yes, thanks very much. We'll see you in another village called Ballinadike.
My name is Hilary Calvert. I'm chairperson of Courcey Rovers Camogie Club. This present club is 17 years in existence. 1997 has been our most successful year to date. We won 3 county champions, starting off with our under-18, then we won our Junior A League, and to finish off the year we won the Junior A County. For a long time we thought we'd never get out of the Junior B. We played 15 years. But once we won that, the gates seemed to open and everything seemed to go right for us.
To send Ballinhassig back into the attack, which is what happens, and a race across for it. Courcey's number 7 first to the ball, that's Sarah Hayes. Sarah under pressure from Sandra Saddle. Ball up in the air, very near the line, knocked out over the line. And the umpire on this side is Tracy Sheehan. Tracy, who refereed the first game here, trying the ball out to Linda O'Sullivan, and Linda to take this sideline for Ballinhassig. Gets the stick well under it and drives it across to Sandra Saddle, and it comes to Michelle Fleming. They tussle inside, but Courcey's defenders are there in number. Noelle O'Sullivan trying to get it up. She's under pressure, and the ball well cleared out the field. Collected there and added to by Siobhan Harrington, way up to the far side. Collected there by Claire Murphy. Collected a push as well, and a free in for Courcey Rovers. Rachel Maloney going across to take this one again. And David Daly. David of Sarsfield's very particular about where frees to be taken from, the exact spot, and Rachel trying to find a spot for herself as Brendan Murphy comes out with the can of resin to help the grip. Rachel dropping this one in, and Donnie comes out and collects it well, clears it out, flicked back to Rachel Maloney again, but Noelle O'Sullivan was alive to it, but the ball comes out to Niamh Downing, and Niamh takes a little solo and swinging the ball across. A dangerous ball batted out by Linda O'Sullivan, collected there by Shirley Maloney. Shirley flicking it back, and Niamh Downing trying to get it, but she's being harassed at the moment by Noelle O'Sullivan, but she gets in her shot just the same, and it drops inside, but it drops wide on the left hand side. And Dorney not happy with her defenders there, letting them know in no uncertain terms. And to take the puck out. Send it out here, out this side. Collected by Rachel Maloney.
Our club is very strong at the moment, and I think this is due to a lot of very good club members who put long hours and work very hard to get all our members out training and to do the work behind the scene. Also in 1977 a number of our girls played on Cork County teams, and this looks very good for the future of the club. Also some of the girls played senior in the Carrick Down, so we hope to have more girls this year on 1998 on the Cork panels.
Tána Fórna our co-score with 22.5 minutes gone in the first half. And a puck out from Joanne Hayes. It's indeed out low, out the far side. And it's collected outside and added to up the field, up into the corner. And going back for it there was Ballinhassig's Clodagh Fleming. And cleared out by Noel O'Sullivan. Rachel Maloney trying to get possession. And she breaks away from Therese Finn. Rachel takes a look and flicks it across. Rachel Maloney, great play and a great point for Courceys, putting them back into the lead almost immediately. 1 goal and 6 points to Ballinhassig's 2 goals and 2.
Also, in the last year, we went to Féile, where we had a great success, and we actually went to the final of the All-Ireland. This has given our club and the members that played on that team a lot of confidence, and you can see that in the club today. There was also a first for the club that we were the first to walk behind the Artane Boys Band, and it was a very enjoyable occasion. I might also mention that on the Saturday at the Féile in the parade we won the best dressed team, which was very nice, and we got a nice trophy for it. I think the future looks very bright for Courcey Rovers Camogie Club, because we are very strong at underage. We're involved with the South East, and they run competitions for under 11s, 13s, 15s and 17s. We also have training and coaching on a Saturday morning for our under 10s. We involve all the teams during the year in competitions, and I think everybody is very well catered for. We also have indoor camogie, and that the younger members seem to enjoy that a lot. So I think all looks well for Courcey Rovers Camogie Club, and I wish them all the best of luck. Thank you very much.
My name is Neely Collins, a member of the 1997 Football Selection Committee. Along with me was Seamus McCarthy, Sean Hales and Donny Noyen. I know it was unusual to have 4, but it worked very well during the year. And we started off the year losing to Valley Rovers in under-21 football championship. And also during the year we lost minor football to Slieve Rua. But in that we made up our minds to say we are going to have a good go after the junior football for 1997, and that's what we did. We got great commitment from the players down in the field, and again the old saying goes, you only get out of it what you put in, and we certainly put in an awful lot for 1997. So we started off, first round was against Ballinhassig in June. We played them in Riverstick, and this was a very good game. We started off slowly, but we got into it very well, and I think on the night we scored something like 14 points. Final score in that game was 1-5 to Ballinhassig, 14 points for Courcey Rovers. Now for Courcey Rovers to kick 14 points is very good altogether, because our accuracy down through the years was never great, but on this occasion we kicked 14 points, which was very good. So from there then we had to wait 2 months, and we went on to play Camogie in the quarter final, and that was played in Kinsale in September. And it was a long wait, and the preparation between hurling and football probably was a bit hard, but we were able to combine both. And we played Kinsale on a Sunday evening in Kinsale, as I said. We played Camogie, and another outstanding game from our players. You could see that from the start they were really committed, and on the day they were true champions again as far as winning this game was concerned, because in the end the final whistle was Courceys were 17 points to Carrigaline's 8. So again, it was outstanding stuff to be able to shoot 17 points in a football match for our junior footballers. So we then went down and we played Crosshaven in the semi-final, which we always knew was going to be a tough job. And it was actually a tough job, because right at coming up to half time we found ourselves 3 goals down. And we were fairly worried at that stage, but when we went in at half time we spoke to the lads and we got a good response from them inside in the dressing room, and we knew coming out in the second half that they were going to give their all. So we turned around this game after a quarter of an hour, and we happened to be a couple of points up with about 10 minutes to go. And we went on to win this game something like 2-12 to 3-4, and Crosshaven didn't score at all in the second half. So then the moment of truth came. We just put us into the Southeast final, and our opponents were Kinsale, our neighbours, and probably our rivals down through the years as well, which they have beat us in hurling and football. But everybody was looking forward to this game. It was a local derby, and we already were after playing them in 2 challenges during the year, and none to say that Kinsale were well over us on both these occasions, and they beat us well. So Kinsale probably were favourites going into this game. But we played in Inishannon. It was back in September again, and the 21st of September to be precise. And it was an outstanding game from start to finish, and we were lucky to come out with a draw. Declan Murray again, as I said maybe before in some other stage, Declan had to kick a point from about 35-40 yards out to draw the game. So the game was a draw, 10 points.
Kieran Allen, how he would like to find one of his own, and up they go for it. Patrick Buckley looking for Humphrey. Sean Hales gets his hand to it. Humphrey runs onto it, leaves it go. Humphrey will get a sideline kick. Humphrey has a look about taking it fast. Kevin Cahill coming out for it, but running in there. Oh, what a great save, and fisted high there and over the bar. A great save in the goal by John O'Mahony. What a tremendous save by John from a point blank range. But it's number 17 who's come into the Courcey team there to get that one, or so the Kinsale team gets it. And Kinsale going into the attack again with Lyndon Kiley. This time up it comes under it again. It's Pat Murphy, but Pat gets it down where Gary Maloney is waiting for it. Gary's kick is blocked down by Humphrey Minan. Back to Sean Hales. Out there to Seamus Hurley. Kenny O'Regan in there. Charlie in there. Charlie putting it there. Charlie going inside lead to the ground. Charlie still going on looking for the free, and he gets it. Charlie foul there. Pat O'Neill is going to show the spot where it is. It's about 30 metres out. Maybe 35 out. We are in injury time. I'd say this could be the last chance for Courceys. If they send it over, this game could end in a draw. He can trust it to their captain, Declan Murray sends it high. Oh, and straight over the bar. What a great kick under extreme pressure there by their captain, Declan Murray. Is there time?
So, due to weather conditions and stuff like that, we had to go to Ballinhassig to play the final. And again, this was an outstanding game, as both teams gave their all. But for the first time since 1975, after Courceys coming into the Southeast, they won their first junior football championship. And what an occasion it was for mentors, players, supporters. It was an outstanding day. and we went on and we enjoyed that occasion very much. But unfortunately, we had to play Ballinora in the first round of the county the following week, and our celebrations were curtailed a little, but we put in a bit of preparation during the week, and we went on to play Ballinora in this game in Ballinhassig again. And Ballinora looked to be probably a better team, but we started off, they got scored a couple of goals early in the game, but we came back into it. But they were 5 points up at half time, and again we said to our lads at half time, they had nothing to be afraid of, they had everything to play for. They went out and they gave an outstanding second half, and we were looking at to get a few more scores because we had created a lot of chances, but unfortunately it didn't work out on the day. But again, they made a great account of themselves. They were worthy carrying down representatives on that day. But again, the highlight of the year was winning the South East Football Junior Football Championship, and a lot of credit will go to probably my the other three selectors, the three lads, Shawnee Hills, Fergus McCarthy and Donny Nyan. And so our club here gave us all the support, and it was an outstanding year as far as junior football was concerned.
On behalf of the South East Board, it gives me great pleasure today to congratulate Courceys, the Junior Football Champions of South East Cork for 1997. I have no doubt that there are many people here in Courceys today, young and old, who have been waiting many long years for that cheer. But I think it's well worth the wait. It gives me great pleasure to present the Keating Memorial Trophy to the captain of the Courceys team for the first time ever.
My name is Donald Quinn. I'm selector and manager of the Courceys Junior Hurling team for 1997. 1997 was a great year for our club, and these are a few of my recollections of the year gone by. In the first round of the hurling championship, we played Shamrocks up in Innishannon. This was a game we were expected to win by everybody, and be truthful, we expected to win it ourselves as well. But like any championship game, it was very tough, and if Shamrocks had a little bit of luck on the night, they could have caused a surprise. But however, we got over it, and we're pleased to advance to the next round, where we met Ballinhassig in the semi-final. This was undoubtedly going to be our biggest match in the South East, because Ballinhassig have been very successful over us for the last number of years, and we found it very hard to get over them at junior level. This match was played out in Riverstick, and our team were, I would say, well fired up for it, because they knew they had it all to do, and on the night they played very well. From I'd say goalie to corner forward, they all performed, and we took Ballinhassig, and we were into our South East final, which we were very pleased with. Then in the South East final, we were up against Valley Rovers, who are near neighbours of ours, and there's a strong rivalry there, and we knew that they were really going to put it up to us, even that it was their second team. I mean, that probably gave them more of an incentive to beat the Courceys. So that final was played in Ballinhassig, and it was a relatively tight pitch, and Valleys definitely gave it all to us. In the second half, we looked like we were getting a little bit of breathing space, but you know, towards the end, but Valleys again came back and got a goal and made it very uncomfortable. But however, we were successful. We captured our second South East title, and we were delighted with that.
Congratulate them and wish them well in the future. It now gives me great pleasure to call forward a very worthy captain from the Courceys, Brian Downey. Now it gives me great pleasure to present this magnificent silver trophy, the symbol of supremacy in South East Hurling.
to play Shanballymore in the quarter final. Shanballymore, I believe, came to that game with expectation of winning. Now we had seen them playing, and we were certainly, wary of them, but believed that we had the ability to get over them. In that match, we struggled for a lot of the game, but eventually things came together near the end, and our forwards started to put in a few goals, and that made the difference, and we pulled away in the end and won it comfortably enough.
Heading for the 11th minute of the second half. Tom Mannix again to take the puck out. Courceys now just starting to edge that little bit in front. Puck out dropping there, and Dennis Hurley gets a stick to it. But no, according to the linesman. The linesman is giving the line ball to the Courcey player, much to the disappointment of Paul Burke. Dennis Hurley will take it himself. Dennis getting a good line ball way down the field, way into the half-hour line. John Murphy, very sharp today. John Murphy's busting through again, and he flicks this one across and over the bar. A great point from John Murphy, an opportunist point. With 11 and a half.
Set us up for a semi-final with Napirsig. It was Napirsig's third team, but like any city team, you can never be too sure what they're going to be like, because they will have former senior players and that kind of thing coming down the line. So we had to be wary of that. Again, we believed we would be capable of beating them, but you have to do it on the day. We played them out in Ballygarvan, and that again was a tough match, and again, like the other ones in the early stages, you really wouldn't be too comfortable. And the Piercy were putting it up to us fairly well, and it wasn't until the last quarter of the game again that we finally got on top of them and pulled away.
Dennis Hurley comes across. Trevor Hickey flicking it inside. Well collected and cleared out by Gary Maloney out as well as Charlie White. Will Charlie get it? No need for him to get it. Brian Hayes has it. And Brian Cindy it in. Seamus Toomey running for it inside. And Michael Dalton tumbles over, and Seamus Toomey is bursting through. And a goal from Seamus. A good goal from Seamus Toomey. Under pressure. A good goal, well taken from close in by Seamus Toomey. 3-10 now for the Courceys, and a goal and 8 for the Piercy. A good goal there from Seamus Toomey, the big centre forward. And Charlie White has it. 25 minutes gone in the second half, 5 minutes left to play. Charlie White is busting through. Great one from Charlie. Nobody going to him. Charlie flicks it across. Seamus Hayes has it, and Seamus is busting through, and the Courceys are rampant now. Seamus knocks that one over the bar. 3-11 for the Courceys. A goal and 8 for the Piercy. And the referee, good refereeing there, saw the earlier foul on Seamus Hayes by Brian Buckley and waited until the score was taken, and now he's writing Brian Buckley's name into the book.
Set us up for a county final, which we were delighted to make. It was the first final since 1970 that the club, junior county final, that the club was involved in. We were up against a real class outfit, alright, in Castle Lyons, a team that we had met back in '93 and were successful over. But this time they had a very strong team, and we knew we were really up against it. But having said that, we still believed our players had the ability to perform and to bring the title back to us. Unfortunately, the first day out, due to weather, the game was called off, and this upset things a little bit. But the next Sunday, anyway, the game went ahead, and it was in the Christie Ring Park. Everybody was all up for the game, and it was a big crowd and great support.
Walter Irvin Shug, a Parky Rin, Tommy Den Shug, the Clay Kennis, Shorshire, Cinnamont, either Fanhin the Corsica, or Ryan in the Yeshkat, Agus, Cashlani Lehan, or Ryan McKilly. The County Junior Hurling final postponed for 1 week, and you're here in Parky Rin today. Parky Rin looking resplendent for this game, and both teams lining out as selected. Courcey Rovers in goal is Seamus Hurley, cornerback Brian Hayes, fullback Gary Maloney, and in the other corner is John O'Donoghue. The half-back line we have Anto Hegarty wearing number 5. Number 6 Brian Downing, and the captain of the team is Brian. Number 7 Niall O'Donoghue. Centre field is a pairing of Charlie White and Dennis Toomey. And the wing forwards are Jamie Hayes and Seamus Hayes, and the centre forward is number 11 Seamus Toomey. The full forward line is made up of John O'Regan, Connie Regan full forward, and in the other corner is Brian Hayes. For this game, your referee Diarmaid Kerwin from Mayor Oak is out there in the middle of the field, but both sets of players line up here behind the Castle Lions pipe band for the parade. And it's a proud moment for both captains there. Willie Reardon for Castle Lions here near us, and on the far side Brian Downing. The music of the Castle Lions pipe band, and the parade is underway.
Again, we performed. I mean, overall the team performed well enough on the day, but we did. We started reasonably well, but then Castle Lions got 2 goals, which was a little bit too much of an advantage to be giving them. We had a great opportunity of a goal back ourselves at half time, which would have set us up very well, but unfortunately went in a half time down. I think it was maybe 2 points. Nevertheless, all wasn't lost, and we had good confidence that we could overcome them in the second half, and the team did rise gallantly to the occasion, and every fella played his heart out. We, with about 3 or 4 minutes left, we went ahead, and in the dying moments of the game they equalised, and it was going to go one way or the other. You just couldn't tell, and the luck would have it, the ball broke for them, and they got a free in front of our goal and captured the title. It was heartbreak for us, but
But Trevor Hickey for Castle Lions. Coming away with it, Liam Toomey. Charlie Hudson on his Hurley, has a look up. There's Shouty, he's going to the right. Willie Reardon on his Hurley. Seamus Toomey flicks it out. Barry O'Connell there. And there's a free out for Courcey Rover, for Castle Lions to relieve the pressure. Less than 2 minutes left in this game. Aidan Barry comes out. His team, 2 goals and 8 points. 14 points. And Courcey Rovers, 14 points. A draw, I think, would be a fair result. All neutrals would like to see it again as Owen Fitzgerald gets it to Paul Cashman. Paul lets it in. Nick Spillane. Nick is still going on. Surely there's something here. There's a penalty. It's a penalty. We just said it at half time that Nick Spillane is a danger. He might get nutty for 59 minutes. It's 58 because we're almost in the last minute of play. And Mick Spillane foul as he brought down in goal, and Owen Fitzgerald is it entrusted with the task of taking this one. As a sub come on for Castle Lions. It's number 19 for Castle Lions on there. Shane Murphy, having won the Colleges All-Ireland last year with St. Coleman's. Shane is in the game. We'll follow the play as Owen Fitzgerald shapes up to this, one of the most important pucks I suppose he'll take for his club, with 29.5 minutes left, 30 seconds of play left. Seamus taking his time over this one. Referee saying don't move in there on the goal. Seamus will be very happy with a point to put his team a point ahead. Yes! His team have got a point up.
It's difficult enough to pick up the pieces after it, but you know, it was, after a bit of time, one reflected back and said it was a great achievement getting there. But you know, for the coming year, we would hope that you know, the players will pick up the pieces and everybody get back and try and get there again. The team is very young, and hopefully they will have the ability to get back to a final again. But with that and all the other activities and successes over the year, it was a remarkable year for the club. 1997 is a year that won't be forgotten by the club or by people in the county for a long time to come.
When the evening falls and the daylight is fading, from within me calls, could it be I am sleeping? For a moment I stray, then it holds me completely. Close to home I cannot say, close to home feeling so far away. As I walk the road, there before me a shadow from another world where no other can follow. Carry me to my own, to where I
My name is Billy Nine. I'm one of the 3 selectors who was involved in the successful 1998, 1997 under 21 team. It started off in the first game against Caroline back in Minan Bridge, and we thought Caroline would put up a fairly good show to us, but in the end the scoreline justified the way our team settled into the game. The next big test in was in the quarter-final or the semi-final was against Valley Rovers, and it was Valleys would have been favourites because 3 years previous that they were premier in the minor grade. In the first half we played with the breeze and got some great scores and turned over commanding lead at half time. But the second half then we really showed what the team was made of, and put up a few great scores and went on to a convincing win. That put us into the final against Tracton, which was played out in Ballinhassig. It was, you know, you couldn't say that it was an outstanding game because Tracton didn't put up such a great show, and on top of that they lost one of their most influential players, Frank Welsh.
And down into the corner where John Kingston has it, and John is very close to the sideline. John sending the ball up the field, up into the half forward line. And Seamus Hayes trying to get it away. But Aidan Corrigan has it for Tracton. Only momentarily the ball is taken off him by Niall O'Donoghue and cleared out the field, and David Hayes sends it on to Connie Regan, and Connie taking a look and sending a long one in. Straight and through from Connie and over the bar. A goal and a point for Connie in the second half, both from long range.
Then that put us into the quarter final against Aaron's Owen, which was played down in Carrigaline. I thought it was a great game. It was for the outstanding view of it. We were without enter Hegarty, and Vincent Dealey came into the game that day and he gave an outstanding performance, and again took some great scores, and you know, played with discipline, very disciplined game. That brought us into the semi-final against Charleville, which was fixed for Parkley Arena the following week. And I was looking back on it, fellas will say we were lucky to come out of the game, but I will credit our lads. Because Charnwell, in the first quarter, Charnwell looked to be all over us, most on the forwards, but our lads kept at them and harassed them into making, not conceding scores, especially the backs. And we brought in Anto was injured, and Anto came in and he switched into centre back in the end of the first half, and to me it was the winning the game for us. We tied with them in the second half, and didn't give them any chance to slip away from us. The deciding factor in it was a line ball, which David Hayes. David said to me, Billy, he said, I said go for your score, and it was nearly the last minute of the game, and he took a great line ball, he put 45-50 yards out, and went into the back of the net. And it showed the true character of the team that kept battling there. And fellas were saying it was an outstanding game. From a Charnwell point of view, it was a hard game to lose. But we took it, and it put us into the final in the Bears, which was fixed out in Riverstick, which had to be played the Sunday after we losing the county junior to Castle Lyons.
But it's collected and cleared out the field by Aidan Fitzpatrick. Up into the corner. Carl McCarthy doesn't get it. Niall O'Donoghue gets it away. Ball is collected, and so is a hard tackle there. And Tim Lorden has earned the free for Courceys. Tim, the scorer of Courceys' second goal in the first half. This one to be taken by Anto Hegarty as the mist blows in here at Riverstick. Anto Hegarty sending it down the field, and over down into the corner. Collected inside and sent across the field, and the sticks go up for it. Joe O'Regan trying to get it away. Niall Murphy has it. Niall Murphy getting away from Shane Fuller and flicking the ball across the field, but it's cleared out the far side. A race for possession.
Abiding memory that was going onto the field after the Castle Lyons game and meeting the captain Niall, and he said, Billy, he said, we'll have to do it next Sunday. I think that was the character of the team they showed right through the year. It wasn't that day we played with the wind in the first half and got some great scores. It was, fortunately we lost Gary Maloney with a very bad hand injury, which is only just back into line now again at the moment. But that didn't still stop Gary from blocking down one of their forwards when he had a goal scoring chance in front of him. And it was, we went on from there and played again to win in the second half, and it was better the team got.
Second half, out in the middle of the field, broken down there. Courceys away in a solo run, ball flicked inside to David Hayes, inside to Niall Murphy, stepping inside his marker, into the back of the net, a great goal for Courceys Rovers. Surely the goal of the game so far. A brilliant goal from Courceys Rovers. Niall Murphy.
On personal view, them players, I've been involved with some of them in minors since 1990-91. And the character that them lads have showed always along the line, I think. I'll always think of it, and I hope when the lads look back and they will say in years to come that, to win 3 South East and have a county in that time, I think it's persuades what that team was all about.
By Carl McCarthy, nice hand pass. Owen Fitzpatrick trying to burst through. Shot blocked down. Timmy Lorden all over the place in the second half, helping out his defenders, getting out of high clearance. But the whistle blows, it's all over. Courceys Rovers are the champions. Cork County U21 Hurling champions from 1997. 3 goals and 10 points for the Courceys. A goal and 5 for St. Finbarrs.
I I'm still thinking about the game up till this day, like, and the celebrations and things went on after it. You know, I think of it for a long time, and I hope the players will as well, and supporters. Because it really was a grand into the end of the year. Like, you know, you had so many games and all this. You know, it was a true benefit on the players. And like, there was 8 of them played on the junior team. I would hope that be a lot more lads that would follow on the same line.
I'm absolutely delighted to be here today for the presentation of the Dick Barrett Trophy, the Courceys Rovers, and was an outstanding achievement out there. This is the first adult competition, county championship that Courceys have won, and it certainly, I'm sure, makes up in a big way for the disappointment of last week. Executed in Dublin on the 8th of December in 1922, 75 years tomorrow. And his nephew, Dick Barrett's nephew, Junior Collins, is here today to say a few words and to present this trophy on this very, very special and memorable occasion.
As a nephew of Dick Barrett, it gives me great pleasure to present this Dick Barrett Cup to the captain of the Courceys Rover team. As you like this, I was captain.
tremendous year for Courcey Rovers, and Willie Coleman, who's a Ballinhassig selector, presents the cup to Paddy Cochran, the captain of Courcey Rovers.
And as the registrar of Southeast Board and as a junior B selector, fantastic. Number one, I want to congratulate Courcey Rovers on a fantastic year, winning the under-16, reaching the Junior Hurling final, and crowning a wonderful year last Sunday. Would win the first junior team. I would think to win the Cochran Hurling Championship is an achievement that they will not be playing the other junior club, and I would congratulate everybody associated with it. On today's game, lads, I would congratulate Courceys and Ballinhassig, and on a sporting game for this time of the year. It was an excellent game of hurling. Courceys stronger finish, won the day for them. And on behalf of the Southeast Board, I would like to compliment the referee, Camogie, for having the pitch available in such good order. And without further ado, I'll present the trophy to Paddy Cochran, a great Courcey name, and wish Courcey well and congratulate him winning the
On behalf of Courceys Hurling Football Club, I would like to welcome you all here tonight to our night of celebration after a fabulous year of 1997. I'm delighted that distinguished people from County Board and from the Southeast Board are joining us here tonight. I suppose 1997, our 50th anniversary year, will go down in history as being one of the best years ever for this club. I think should be the achievements of this year, I think will be very hard to repeat, first of all, if they ever will. Just to run down exactly what all these trophies overhead here stand for and signify. In the field of hurling, of course, pride of place must go to the Under-21 County Championship, which was won on the 7th of December. They were the first Southeast team to bring the Under-21 trophy to the Southeast. So I think of all other achievements this year, that must stand as being the greatest. Now, also won this year was the Southeast Junior Hurling Championship for the second time in our history. And as you all know, we were most unfortunate to lose out by the minimum of margins by 1 point to Castlelyons in the county final. Then, on the middle of December, we won the Southeast Junior B Hurling Championship. The year has gone up in the outlook to this. Also, for the first time, I think, in the history of this club, we won the Jim Regan Cup. And I think that was a very important one to win, seeing that Jim Regan was was first of all a native of this parish and spent many, many years working in this parish. And to round off the junior side of things, we also won this past year the 96 Junior B League. In football, of course, also history was made this year. I mean, for the first time ever, we won the Southeast Junior A Football Championship. I think a lot of work was done by many people over the years in football, but I suppose I'm a singular one man for mention tonight, for staying with the footballers and believing in them all down the last half a dozen years, and of course that's Neely Collins. We start at the end, if it is what I say. I represent somebody with the personality of the past. But in this case, it's very much the personality of the present as well. I want to reward the man who has, down the years, has been a great supporter of our club, in one sense, but also He played in his younger days, played football, I believe. Also acted as selector on a number of years with different underage teams. But most of all, I think he's an outstanding man in his own community, for his work for the community and the different projects he was involved in. He's a man that I have great respect for, as a lot of people here will express too. So I would like to make a small presentation on behalf of the club for services rendered to his fellow parishioners and his neighbours, also on behalf of the GA club. He's from my own neck of the woods. I would like to ask Teddy O'Donoghue to accept.
Chairperson, Southeast Camogie Board, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the GAA on such an outstanding and rewarding year and to wish them all the very best for the year that lies ahead. Our Camogie Chairperson, Hilary Calvert, unfortunately is unable to be here tonight, so I am deputising for her. And as Secretary of Courceys Camogie, I am proud to be here on this occasion to acknowledge and reflect upon the memorable highlights of such an outstanding year for our club. It is here tonight that we acknowledge and commend the commitment of our players, mentors and officers who can take pride in the way the silverware on display here tonight was attained. The Under-18 County Championship was the first trophy to take up residence in the Camogie Trophy Cabinet. The title came to Courcey country after defeating Clidug at Ballygarvan. Our 19-strong panel reaped this reward and put us on track to keep up the winning streak. And when it came to the final of the Junior A League, we proudly attained our second trophy of the year against City side St Vincent's. By now, the tastes of success were tickling our taste buds, and so we took to the ranks of Junior A Championship, fresh from victory in the Junior B ranks the previous year. We hurried away to the final and a showdown with Ballinhassig, who were playing the A grade since '94 at the expense of Courceys, so the chips were down and the pressure mounting. We, however, had the support of the Courcey Army, who by now were gathering hooters, hats, whistles, you name it, they had it, to rally behind their team. We took the game to Ballinhassig and in what was a thrilling final, captured the Junior A title at our first attempt and become only the second intermediate Camogie club in the southeast. In a Camogie game, the first 50 minutes are the hardest, but the rate of celebrations erupted and captured the imagination of every parishioner. I think the after celebrations were harder.
Once again, it is a great honour for me to be here with Courcey Rovers GA and Camogie clubs as representing the county board on a wonderful occasion such as this. The array of trophies on display here tonight, any club in Ireland would be very proud to be here and to behold what silver is on my right hand side. And I'm glad that the Camogie team contributed in no small way to the pride of the Courcey Rovers jersey this past year. Courcey Rovers club in modern times is an exceptional club, well represented at the county board, well represented on the inter-county teams, as Shirley has outlined in great detail for you. And they were proud members of that club all the year long. As Shirley also said, unfortunately 2 of them were absent on the school tour when we met Tipperary in the Munster Under-18 final, and I agree with her that their presence would definitely have made that difference.
Special thanks goes to all supporters and sponsors of Courcey Rovers Camogie Club. Also from the GAA club side, we are so lucky to have Fleur Griffin as our main sponsor. Fleur just goes over and above what would be very generous, as he has looked after Courcey Rovers down through the years. Tonight, having the big heart we know so well in Courcey's parish, we are indeed honoured that he has decided to honour our panel of 23 ladies following the success of '97 and winning the County Junior A Camogie Championship. Each lady will receive a top quality polar fleece top with Courcey Rovers and Fleur Griffin Electrical fashionably embroidered across the front. And ladies, not only can you wear it going to matches, but also to many other places, maybe the pub or to Massey's. Another word, on behalf of the 55 hurlers and footballers who've already received beautiful tracksuits, and the 23 camogie players. That's 78 washing machines, 78 cookers and 78 dishwashers. A wise investment, Fleur. Our sincere and heartfelt thanks. I'd like to ask Claire Murphy, Captain of Junior A, to come along and accept the presentation from Fleur.
Sean, Canon of O'Callagher, I hear the Christian from the Camogie and Sheila Bowman, that's the Cardigan Air, the Deuce, Pavalum, our son of Van Kele, Cairx Nathan, on weeks ago, there's Nifigi gas up and Curra, Hookship doing the Sean Duct, Dun Kellura, Shaw, and Tresling live, us up on Vianuntuk, a V, a good, on Stamorpor. Tresling Lishon Furden Fay here, a mind, as often on Voom took a via Coshaw, shoot a great commodus on Crave Fay and on Kunde. Cogardic expression, Lishon Furden Fay Shadiag, as often on Vo via Cock, a grave Fay here, Shadiag on Kunde, August on Fun Camogie, as often on Vo via Coshaw, suit, if and Crave Shosher on Camogie. It is indeed a great pleasure for me here to be here tonight for this absolutely wonderful occasion, and as already been said, to look here to my right and see such an array of trophies. It's absolutely tremendous for the club, a club that is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and to have done so in the manner in the past 12 months that you have achieved. Wonderful victories indeed. There's no doubt whatsoever about it. County championships are not easily won. In fact, they're very difficult to win a county championship. But for a club, not alone to win one, but to win 3 county championships in the year, and also to qualify for a county junior hurling championship is certainly a wonderful achievement indeed. When I was doing a little bit of research for tonight, I inquired as to what actually the club had won during the year, and I was told that it would be easier to tell you what they didn't win. Because it was I would like just to, I know it has been mentioned already, but I think it's appropriate that I should mention tonight and congratulate in particular Niall Murphy on the very prestigious award that he was awarded at the recent County Juvenile Convention. He was awarded the Christie Ring Trophy, the trophy which is awarded for the most skillful under 16 player for the year. And that is a great tribute indeed to Niall, and a lad that has certainly great prospects and a great future ahead of him. I understand that he was the leading scorer for the club in the under 16 minor and junior and under 21 teams during the year. And great credit to him, and I wish him every success also in the years ahead. I will now ask the under 21 players to come forward and
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Ken Kelleher, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I do here tonight, I was informed earlier that Shawnee Reardon became a grandfather today for the first time. In fact, when I heard it, first of all, I thought Shawnee was a grandfather with years actually. But I know he'll be coming back to me later on in the So just to keep the function rolling along, we start off. As a captain, this player, you couldn't think of enough good things to say about him. He was an inspiration to the lads, both before matches and in the dressing room and afterwards. And he led by example on the field. And as far off the field and socialising with him that I know, I think I won't make any comment on that. But now the fact that he's over 21, I think he might settle down a bit. So that's neither than who. Well, this player had a very good year in all grades. In fact, he has a unique record in winning 4 Southeast medals in minor, under-21 and junior hurling, and also a junior A football. It is a record that probably will be very hard to equal. That's Seamus Hurley. A lot of people will tell you that this player, his best hurling is played in the back line. But he's equally as good as a forward, and he showed us in the Southeast Hurling final when he picked up Man of the Match award, and he also won an All-Ireland vocational medal with Cork this year. So that's Seamus Hayes. This player, he has settled down in the full-back position in a very commanding manner. You could count the scores in one hand that was scored against him, I'd say, in both junior and under-21. But what you'll remember for last year, probably most, is when he got up off the ground in the under-21 final in Riverstick after receiving a very bad injury to his hand. And certainly, he blocked down a Bears player from scoring a certain goal. That's Gary Maloney. Our next player, he spent more time over the RSC last year. He must have thought he was training to be an airline pilot instead of a marine engineer. But when he got his feet back on the playing field again, we were all delighted to have him around. His ability to make room for himself and to hit scores under pressure is remarkable, as the first point he got after 20 seconds of the county final in Riverstick. It was a gem of a point. That's Cornelius O'Reilly. I'll just be informed that Cornelius is another 2 years under 21. Okay, another young player who's come up through the ranks. I think he became a man this year and playing all sorts of grades. As our county board chairman said, he was the top scorer in both minor and under-21 this year in them campaigns. He also was an inter-county player in Cork under-16. And as our county board chairman also said earlier, he was the recipient of the Christy Ring Trophy, which is for the most accomplished forward player in the game. And I think this player have another 5 years under 21, and as our county board chairman said earlier, he have a big future and a great future in front of him. That's Niall Murphy. here now to present the Under-21 Player of the Year. Sorry, I would like to thank Mr. Chairman for your presentation there, and thank you for your kind words there earlier as well.
I said it's my third year working with the Under-21 lads, and I was not see lads coming up the line there for 3 years, see younger players coming into there. I was there 3 star east, but to finish off for the county and top of lads. I think for me, it's the icing on the cake. I have the honour here of with the 2 other selectors of picking the player, the Under-21 Player of the Year. I was nearly said summed up a few words there a while ago. I remember going back in 1992, Charlie Hurling and Patrick, I remember as well, training with this bloke, and he bowling me below on the pitch. And I just laughed away at him, but he just came back to me and he said a true word. Billy, he said, "You shouldn't be here." I'm going to see if I've been out the player I'm talking about. But the player that I'm talking about, he's known as the Kite Man. I always call him as the Kite Man. But all the lads that have come up through the years there with him will know the fella I'm talking about. And that player, lads, is none other than Liam Toby.
We continue on, and I will at this point like to ask, on behalf of the Southeast Courceys Chairman, Mr. John Toomey, to say a few words to us.
Mr. Chairman, Alan Kelleher, Chairman of the County Board, fellow guests, players, members and friends of the Courceys Club. I've no doubt that when people like Davy O'Sullivan and Jim Regan and others sat down 50 years ago to form the Courceys Club, would they ever in their wildest dreams see or envisage what is actually happening here tonight? This is all reality. It's not a figment of the imagination. It's not a mirage. This is absolute fact, achieved by 2 small country villages on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, Ballynadee and Ballinspickle. That's what it's all about. And you all, the people there, have made it possible. Players, non-players and supporters. Because with goodwill, anything can be achieved. And with goodwill, this has been achieved. And with cooperation. And in my capacity as Chairman of the Southeast Board, I want first and foremost to reiterate what our esteemed County Chairman has said to you, and to congratulate you and say, well done.
I now ask Fergus to introduce us to the Selector's Choice of Footballer of the Year.
The Footballer of the Year, in my opinion, epitomises what Courcey Rovers is all about. In relation to football, he was committed. I suppose it's easy to say down and training the whole time. His spirit on the field was 100%. Seamus Toomey.
59 is the 96 Junior B Hurling League medal. Give us the selector's choice of the Hurler of the Year.
Reverend Father, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this was quite difficult to pick a Hurler of the Year, as the year that was in it for 1997. We were asked back the week before Christmas, could we decide on a player? And after speaking with different football selectors and under and everything, no two could agree on the one given player. So when we got over Christmas and into New Year, some other guy came up with another idea, maybe we did have an under 21 and a footballer and a hurler. That made things a little bit easier at the end of the day, but on our side, from the hurler side of the other it is very difficult to single out one individual player. Because all of our 30 players on the Junior 1 panel gave it their all from start to finish of the year, and I mean the 30 of them, not the 15 of them. So for 98, hopefully, the boys will bring bigger honours to the club. But in the end of the day, we decided on one player after a long debate. A player with tremendous skill, a good hurler will get on the day that's around the county, a player that will never give back chat here, will get on with his training and be very dedicated to training, and a defender's nightmare, I would call him. The player that we came to in the end of the day was John Murphy. Yeah.